Hi guys, so as you can see from the title of my video today, we'll be talking about when you need cutting. When I cut my hair before I started chemotherapy and the process of actually losing my hair during chemotherapy. So losing your hair is a side effect of chemotherapy. Not everyone loses their hair, but like majority of people do. And I happen to be one of those people. So actually for me, just being a person who is Miss Independent, that's how I love her. Like, that's just me. I'm quite independent. I like a sense of like control to some degree, and to feel like I have control of something, you know, like the next few steps. So because I knew that with the chemotherapy and the side effects, I wasn't sure which ones I would have, which ones I wouldn't, and I didn't know how I'd be emotionally in the state of mind at the time when I started losing my hair. I figured that I wanted to cut my hair before the time, so that one, I kind of feel like I'm narrating the story and I'm not just a part of the story and just going through it and being numb or going through all this like emotional roller coaster with the whole diagnosis and really being ill. And also, like, my hair meant a lot to me. So for me, it was like, I don't just want to lose it in one go and really be devastated. I want it to be progressive, so that I also feel like, okay, I took charge, I cut it, and I've prepped myself for that. And so that's the reason I actually cut my hair before I started chemotherapy. For some people, you might decide to actually want to hold on to it and hold on to a sense of like feeling like yourself all the way until it does end up falling off.
No. None of me looks fine. I look like a cue ball. Like a little shrunken, nubby-nailed cue ball. Holly tried to wear a wig. It just kept falling off. That was embarrassing.
And already there's a lot going in your mind at the time of receiving the diagnosis. Now you have to consider your hair, and also realizing that we all have different textures and different kinds of hair, right? So for myself, my hair was quite natural and coily, and it lasted longer and it didn't fall off as quick. It wasn't as traumatizing, because I know when I listened to one of the other YouTubers, they had like very like natural soft hair, and they would just find that they'd wake up and they'd be hair on their pillow, they'd go shower and it would just fall out, and it was very like a bit traumatic for them. And okay, I mean, it's different, right? People's hair, my hair, two different things. So I think that it fell off easier for her than it did for me. But definitely on the second chemo, you start to feel your hair is actually going to start falling off. And it does, like second week. So actually the question would be like, how do I know it's falling off, or how does it feel like? For me, it was like a tingly sensation. It just like, I can explain it, like it just started happening and then it just started falling. Like, not that it fell off immediately and I feel the tingling, but it's almost like the tingling was like my pores opening and then my hair follicles were like just falling out. And so I'll share a video when I actually cut it the first time.
I'm off to go cut my hair. I think I'm mentally, emotionally fine.
When I cut my hair was when, so I went to the barber the first time. The second time my fiance cut my hair. So what happened was, it started falling, like it started coming out on the second chemo.
It's kind of been 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks in 2 days time. Today's Monday. It'll be 2 weeks exactly on Wednesday. But because like I cut it, right, and anyway, naturally short natural hair, you don't have to worry about it. So here you can see, look, that's like a lot of hair. Yeah, so if I take it from the coil, that's when I'm able to, and I'm not even pulling that hard. So like if you look here, just already, but you know what the thing is, actually my head is actually kind of sore. Like you see here, see, there we go. I'm able to take those chunks. So like here, look, yeah. And I'm definitely glad that I cut my hair, because if it was still a fro and I did this and a whole like thick chunk, oh, traumatized. So I'm gonna try to see how long I can keep it like this, and not play with it because.
Then the second time my fiance cut my hair. So what happened was it started falling, like it started coming out on the second chemo, and then I decided that I'm gonna cut it because I didn't want patches on it.
Look at that patch. Look at the patch.
So he cut my hair. It was really cool, sweet of him. It was also like quite an emotional journey, and I think even for us in our relationship, because for me it was like I didn't in that moment, because I've never had to cut my hair that short. I didn't feel as beautiful, and I was just like, ugh, like. And he was like, "You look good, you look beautiful." I was like, "Of course you don't say that. Like, oh, what do you mean? Like, you have to tell me I look good." But I knew that he still looked at me the same way, and it depends. Different people might feel like I'm not beautiful, or if you have a partner and you feel like you're changing, so much of you is changing, and right before your eyes. So there's really a lot to consider, and a lot of emotions. The sun is setting, that's why the lighting is like changing. And so yeah, I think it was a process. And interesting enough, actually, on the night he proposed, he prefers my natural hair. So then I also love my natural hair, so I don't really wear wigs. So then on that night I was like, let me just brush my hair because we're going on date night. Let me just, And then as I brushed, like a chunk fell out, guys. I was so traumatized. I'm gonna show you guys the picture or the video. And I literally took gel and I pasted, like, I told them the story only after. I was laughing. I was like, guys, the things you have to do. I was sitting there traumatized, like, what must I do? So I put gel and I like put it back, and I was like, you're gonna stay there till the end of the night. And thank the Lord, and didn't show him pictures.
So it like just basically just now it just comes off, like it's just like sitting there, like just sitting like here. Do you see?
And yeah, man, like even that, like I'm just gonna talk about the process. Like there's another video sharing just like what it means, like how partners go through like you having the diagnosis, and like the emotions they also go through. And for me it was more significant like when he proposed during chemo. For me it was like, I actually said thank you, like I'll share that in the actual video, because I was like, I mean it was like you actually have the faith. For me it showed so much faith and like so much like hope that you believe that I'm gonna overcome this, I'm gonna get through this, that we're gonna really spend eternity together. And it's not just, you could have been fearful, you could have decided you wanted to leave, but anyway, that's not what this video is about. But my guy, shout out to you, you're a real one. People don't know what you went through last year. You went through the most, my guy, and I really love you for that a lot. And so yeah, I think it's really up to you cutting your hair. And I got a lot of awkward questions, and people used to ask me questions about my cutting hair, like, why did you cut your hair? Like, when are you gonna grow it back? And it was tough because I hadn't actually told people about my diagnosis. So this is usually how it went down. It would be like, why did you cut your hair? Changed. And then people would be like, they usually say women are going through something, or like something big is happening, or change when they cut their hair. Well, now what's happening in your life? And I'm thinking, if only you knew. You guys, but persevered, and I became bold and the beautiful. Like I rocked it. I naturally came to embrace it. I did miss plaiting my hair. So the moment my hair grew a bit, I was like, I'm plaiting it. So I did miss plaiting my hair, and sometimes I'd even forget. Like I remember there was a time where someone asked me at church, like a guy was like, oh, like, okay, when last did you cut your hair? And I was like, I only cut it that one time. He's like, really? Like, how slow does your hair grow? And I was like, oh snap, God, like you cut your hair almost twice a month, like every second week as a normal person. So it was like, I can't be like, oh, my hair is just slow to grow. So it was like quite a process. And so yeah, I just went through the journey and embraced it. And I even started losing like my eyebrows, started losing my eyelashes. I'll actually post more about that when I speak about chemo, because that's a chemo side effect, and I'll look into that. But yeah, if you're looking to cut your hair before, you're more than welcome to. Like, and just expressing how for me it was better, because when I started to lose my hair, it felt like it's okay, I'm prepared to have lost it, and I had cut it initially, so I didn't feel like I'm losing so much of myself, especially if hair is important to you. So yep. And it grows back. That's the thing. Like, I know we say that and it's like difficult. It grows back. Jonga, now I'm fine.